Hello friends, in continuation of our splicing video lectures, in this lecture we will talk self-splicing in group 2 introns. Okay, as we know that two groups of introns has been designated as group 1 and group 2, and both of them undergo self-splicing. In earlier video also we have discussed it for group 1, and we have already told, or you know, that self splicing is a splicing process which occurs in absence of high energy cofactor ATP or protein enzyme. And like group 1 intron, group 2 intron, the mechanism of splicing of group 2 intron is also follow trans-esterification reaction mechanism, two step. But a difference is there, what we will see here right now. So what happens in primary mRNA transcript? You have 5' band, you have 3' band, and obviously when we are talking splicing, we are talking exon and intron. Exons are coding nucleotides within the primary mRNA transcript, and introns are the non-coding nucleotide which interferes and which remains between the exons. So what happens during self-splicing of group 2 introns? Within the in the intron there is a nucleotide sequence which is non-coding. Okay, that is consequences nucleotides, and mostly it is adenylate. Okay, so what happens, the 2' OH of the adenylate starts the phosphatase, and it acts as the nucleophile. Now let us see here what we said. We said that group 2 intron undergoes self-splicing, okay, and group 2 intron undergoes self-splicing, obviously absence of ATP and protein enzyme, and the mechanism is trans-esterification, okay. As out of the two steps, what is the first step? Now you see here the structure here. This is the structure of primary transcript. You can see here primary mRNA transcript or RNA transcript. This is the 5' end. You have 3' end. Just for sake of distinguish, you have 2 exon, and between the 2 exon, this is the intron part. Okay, you know that this is the intron part. Okay. And at the junction of intron and exon, you have, suppose you have a nucleotide sequence of uracil phosphodiester linkage, uracil nucleotide phosphodiester linkage, and obviously nucleotide containing guanine. And at the junction here towards 3', this is at 5' end, towards 3' end, what you have a phosphodiester linkage and uracil, and here you can see this phosphodiester linkage is attached to adenine, and you have set of nucleotide here, that is phosphodiester linkage, cytosine, then you have adenine, and you have again adenine. So what we say that in the first step, now here is, this is the difference between group 1 and group 2. In group 1, it is the 3' OH which attacks. But in group 2 intron splicing, it is the 2' OH of the nucleotide containing adenine which attacks at the spliced site near 5' end, or you can say 5' spliced site, and where obviously it will attack the phosphodiester linkage between U and G. And what will be the result of this? As the result of this attack, nucleophilic attack, what will happen at the 5' M? In the axon, you have a 3 prime OH group, free OH group now. Okay, and obviously at the splice site between exon and intron has been broken at the phosphodiester linkage, and then you can see a new phosphodiester linkage is formed, that is between G and A. G and A is formed. And what is the beauty of here, that you have a new phosphodiester linkage as well, that is 2 prime 5 prime. Here the linkage between nucleotide containing guanine and nucleotide containing adenine bases is 2 prime 5 prime phosphodiester linkage because of the attack of 2 prime OH. And this structure, you can see it resembles lariat, or you can say branch lariat structure. And obviously when you talk lariat, you are talking a circular rope or made up of leather, circular rope or leather, which is used to catch livestock. Okay, which is used to catch livestock, like this. You see here livestock are being catched by this type of circular rope. Now, so what happens? This is the intermediate. This is the intermediate, and obviously already you have, if you see here, what you see, that you have a normal phosphodiester linkage of 3 prime 5 prime. The normal linkage is 3 prime 5 prime phosphodiester linkage. But after the attack, you have in the intermediate, you have 3 phosphodiester linkage. One is 2 prime 5 prime, and the two are, that is between A and C you have 3 prime 5 prime, between A and A you have 3 prime 5 prime phosphodiester linkage. So this intermediate has, you can see that 3 phosphodiester linkage. One is 2 prime 5 prime, and the other two is normal 3 prime 5 prime phosphodiester linkage. Now in the following step, what will happen? The OH, the free OH group of the nucleotide, say we have taken uracil here, nucleotide containing uracil base, you have a 3 prime OH group, and this 3 prime OH group, attacks the phosphodiester linkage near 3 prime end of the primary RNA. Okay, at where? At the junction of exon and the branch lariat structure. Well, this is the splice site between exon and intron. You see where they are joined. So what happened after the first step? You have a branch lariat structure attached to the exon of the 3 prime. Okay, so this nucleophilic attack, obviously it will lead to cleavage of phosphodiester linkage between lariat and the 3 prime exon, 3 prime end exon, and formation as a result of it, a formation of a splice mRNA or mature mRNA, or you simply say RNA will be formed. Okay, so and what will happen? Obviously you have this spliced intron. So as a result of this, what happens? A spliced intron is removed, and you have a mature mRNA or RNA, whatever, and the spliced intron undergoes degradation. So obviously from overall step, you can say during self-splicing, what happened? Excision and ligation takes place. That is, excision, that is removal by cutting, and ligation, that is joining of two molecules by phosphodiester linkage. So this is all about discussion of spliced self-splicing of group 2 intron, you have to remember that the attack, first attack will be from 2' OH in the adenine at the branch site or point. Sometimes you will find in some books which is called branch site or branch point on the junction, a splat site junction between exon and intron, which leads to formation of lariat. And finally, the 3' OH, which is liberated, it again attacks the phosphodiester linkage and leading to formation of a spliced mRNA and removal of a splice lariat, branched lariat intron. Okay. Now let us see the notes for the today lecture. And now the class notes for you people. What you can see that group 2 class of intron undergoes self-splicing, that is splicing. That is splicing in absence of high energy factor ATP and protein enzyme. Self-splicing process involves two-step trans-esterification reaction mechanism. I have already discussed in our previous lecture what is trans-esterification. So, in the first step, 2' OH of a specific adenine containing nucleotide present in intron acts as nucleophile, and obviously it is called at branch site or point. And 2' OH of adenosine nucleotide in intron attacks 3', 5' phosphodiester linkage at 5' end. At 5' end, a split site, that is the junction of intron and exon, say uracil phosphodiester G. As a result, a new 2', 5' phosphodiester linkage is formed between G and guanine and adenine containing nucleotide, and at 5' end exon you have a OH group free, that is 3', and which acts as a nucleophile in the second step. Now, as a result of 2' OH attack, what happens? The intermediate has a lariat structure or branch lariat structure. And as I told you that this is lariat literally means rope or leather, made up of rope of leather, and which is used to catch the livestock. So the intermediate, obviously you have one 2', 5' and two normal 3', 5' phosphodiester linkage in it. Now next, as I told you that this 3' OH at 5' exon end nucleotide attack phosphodiester linkage at 3' end split site between the lariat structure and axon near the 3' end. As a result of it, what happened? Excision of branch lariat takes place, that is removal by cutting, and ligation of axon takes place, that is joining of two axon by the phosphodiester linkage happens, and obviously you get a spliced mRNA or RNA, and the spliced intron, that is the lariat shaped intron structure is degraded finally. Okay, so this is all about your group 2 intron self-splicing. You have to only remember the two step, that is attack by 2' OH and intermediate lariat structure having 3 phosphodiester linkage. One is 2', 5', and the other two is normal 3', 5' phosphodiester linkage. So this is all about self-splicing of group 2 intron. Thank you.